now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right.
Yeah,
That's good news.
Welcome, everybody, to Office Hours, episode 892 or so. We've missed a few in the counting continuum of Office Hours. I'm blessed to be here with two middle-aged white men. That's right. We are politically incorrect on Office Hours. The incredible Blaine Bartlett will guide you to the reality that you desire, or even better. And of course, if you want power or more counter power, Rhett Power is here to join us as well with Head of Mentals. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me on Office Hours.
Absolutely.
Happy to, man.
Always. Hey, good looking color on you there, plum.
You like that? It's Julia is now dressing me, so
It's improved. It's good.
It's Rhett. I'm getting a little feedback, Rhett, just so you know. Chuck, you think? Is it Rhett? Yeah.
Yep,
All right, there we go. All right. Perfecto. Let me just tell you guys, we're going to be in Newport Beach today with Jay Abraham, Tim Story, John Coyle, Bill Walsh. We got a big mastermind in Newport Beach, and then I'll be in Japan with Meetups Holding Courts interviews in Japan, and then back into a great tour. We got Nick Saban and I in Louisville, Kentucky, Chicago, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Meetups Holding Courts, VIP dinners for charity, as well as coming back to season 11 of Office Hours, a TV show. Hoping to see Rhett Power and Blaine Bartlett back on season 11 as the amazing anchor men that they are on our show. And then back to Newport Beach, back to New. Well, so that's how you get to 200 cities. These car washes, holding court meetups, interviews, masterminds, VIP dinners for charities. That seems to be the model that works to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Ben is in the waiting room. Enough about our schedule. Text me 949-298-2905 if you want to be invited or informed on where we're going to be. 949-298-2905. All right, Gigi, bring on Ben Hansen, the CEO at Profit Doctor.
Howdy, Dave. Can you hear me?
I can't see.
Yep, we can hear you just fine there, Ben.
Perfect. Great to be here. Looking forward to it.
Ben, welcome, my friend. And Profit Doctor definitely sounds like a prescription I'm looking for, and establishing owner-led B2B service companies to real revenue, not what I call Barney partnerships. I'm wearing purple, or as Blaine said, plum today. But I used to talk about all the wasted business of people that had these Barney relationships. I love you, you love me, nobody makes any money. And I'm pretty sure when we start our businesses, we all have checked a box when we started, and it said for profit. But so many companies I coach, they're here to change the world, but they forgot they didn't check not for profit. They checked for profit, and you can't change the world without profit. So to have a profit doctor to help people that are leaving millions and millions of dollars on the table, what's the biggest mistake these entrepreneurs are making, and why are they so motivated to help other people before they actually create profit for themselves?
You know, I think one of the biggest myths of mid-sized businesses is that selling more will cure everything. If you just grow big enough, fast enough, and generate enough sales and customers, everything is going to work out.
You know, that whole notion of scaling, which is essentially what you're talking about there, I think, Ben. Oftentimes, in my experience, the metric that people will pay attention to when they start focusing on scaling their business is the revenue increase. And to your point, we're selling more. But in order to scale, I've now got to assume some costs that I didn't have before. And ideally, I'm going to be accounting for those. But most of the focus, again, in my experience with the clients with whom I've worked, most of the focus oftentimes is on the top line and not on the bottom line.
Exactly. That's what I see so much. So much of the business press, cocktail party conversation is about scale and size and revenue and how many employees are you adding rather than profitability. I'd love to share just a quick little anecdote from my time at Dell Computer. I was walking in, I was talking to in the parking lot, the senior finance guy who was wearing a shirt just like David's, or at least that color. Actually, sorry, I'm confusing it. He was driving a minivan with exactly that color. And I'm like, my gosh, you're driving a purple minivan. And he say, no, it's plum mist. And I take the and use plum mist in a sentence. So we're in this big, like 50-person business review that day. And I get up there and I say, we plum missed the forecast again. In Austin, maybe you could get away with that. But what I loved about Dell at that time is they were very focused on everything was driven about more margin dollars. If you invested in something, they wanted a return based on margin dollars, the difference between the revenue and the cost to deliver that. And that's why Dell at that time was incredibly, incredibly profitable. And I just bring that up as a counterpoint to what so many mid-sized business owners might be missing when they focus revenue. They're not focusing on profit, margin dollars, contribution margin, gross margin, something that smells a lot more like bottom line. And that can really lead people astray. Rhett, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, he got muted again.
Yeah, you're on this. There we go.
So that sounds great. But my question is that sounds easy for all of us who understands, profit and loss, and we understand EBITDA, and we understand all of that. For the small business owner, medium-sized business owner that's really focused on the service or the product, what are you really getting at here? Like, what does all this really mean? When we say look at, because I just want to understand that a little bit more and make that more clear. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do we have to be really looking at?
Yeah. I guess I see something so common where when the business is a little bit smaller, let's say $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, it's pretty darn profitable. The business owner, their founder, their kind of hands and fingers are on everything. They're taking good clients. They're sticking to the knitting. They have a handful of really great people kind of running things. And then they kind of a victim of their own success. They start getting a little bit bigger. They kind of get a little bit farther outside of Main Street, if you will, in terms of customers they take on, products and services that they're selling, folks that they bring onto their team. And then let's say now they're 5 million, 10 million, but they're less profitable than they were before, whether it's on a percentage basis or very commonly an absolute basis. But they're thinking the way that I'm going to get out of this is if we can get another $2 million worth of revenue. What I think they're not appreciating is two things. Number one, if you were profitable at 5 million and less profitable at 10 million, how are things going to get better when you get to 12, 13, 15 million? Because it's unlikely that that additional incremental revenue is going to come for free. You're going to work so hard for it. It's often going to be less profitable than the revenue you already have. And since you're already kind of heading downhill, if you will, on your revenue percentage, that's probably not the way to go. So selling your way out of a profit problem generally doesn't work in my experience. And just tying it back to what David said in the beginning, so many business owners, they want to make sure they do great for customers. They want to make sure they're doing great for their team, and they're focused on revenue. As a result, they're not focused on net bottom line profit, contribution margin, etc. And so then the company gets weaker and weaker. They're not taking care of themselves, and the whole thing can kind of unravel.
Yeah, if you need a Profit Accelerator program, if you need a great advisor or consultant to double your revenue as fast as you can, finding those leaks, profit leaks that are just so hard and difficult to see in front of us, we need an extra set of experienced eyes with situational knowledge. He's been doing it for years. That's why they call him the Profit Doctor. CEO at Profit Doctor. Ben Hansen will enhance your profit. If you're interested, if you're a 2 million or above company, he can help you to regain the freedom that you originally wanted from entrepreneurship and the profit that you deserve. Ben Hansen promised us you'll come back on the show. We look forward to doing more with you, and thank you for changing the face of the bottom line for all of our community. We appreciate you.
Thanks, David. Look forward to coming back and giving you guys some tips on how to actually take action on this problem.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we plumb missed out of time, but we'll get it next time.
Very good.
Nice.
Good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, look forward to the tips. That's good.
Yeah, we didn't want to give away all the secret sauce. Go ahead, reach out to Profit Doctor. He'll gladly give you a free consultation. Now, Chad is in the waiting room. Chad Gruen is here. Out of Chicago, CEO at 3 Step Sports, and we'll be talking about his successful entrepreneurial journey and highlight why now is especially the exciting time in the youth sport industry and how 3 Step is capitalizing on this very moment. Why? Welcome, by the way, to Office Hours 892 episodes or more. Chad.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Congrats on 892.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a little bit more, but who's counting? Anyway, why is it, I've been in this space a long time. So why is it the time now is so important for youth sports?
Look, I think when you take a step back at the younger generation, I don't think that there's ever a bad time to get outside and be athletic and balance what is happening in the world today. So I don't know that today is any better or different than it has been. I think what's happening is there's more and more eyes on what's going on than there probably ever has been.
That's definitely true. Great point.
Yeah. And I was surprised by this little factoid. The youth sports market is a $40 billion market. I mean, I saw that. I went, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's probably an underestimate too, in my opinion.
Probably is. You got started, Chad, literally out of the trunk of your car, and you ended up building in the Midwest what I think became one of the largest youth sports businesses in the Midwest. What was it that got you engaged with it, number one? And number two, as you looked at the scaling question, what did you need to pay attention to in order to be successful with that?
Yeah, perfect. Love the question. Thank you. What got me interested when I first started kind of out of the trunk of my car was if you wanted help in school, you'd call up your school, you'd say, I need help with math. Do you have a math tutor to help me? Right? Or can the teacher come early or stay late? If you needed help in a team sport, there was nobody to call. There was no way to actually know how to get better. And so I took this underlying thesis that still resonates through 3 Step today, almost 3 decades later, to personalize sport. How do you create a team environment that individualizes the way we educate and mentor and support the next generation through the vehicle of sport? At 3 Step, our mission is to empower people through sport. It's not to win or lose, right? That is a byproduct of doing it right on the front side. And so with that, then, Blaine, to answer your second part of the question is how does scale affect that and what do we do? This is all about people. And I am a people first leader. I very much believe that if we treat our people right, they treat our athletes and their families right. And we have, upwards of almost 20,000 stakeholders in 3-Steps ecosystem, anywhere from coach, employee to referee, to athletic trainer, to you name it, the ecosystem is large. And it's really important every one of those stakeholders are invested in the athlete, because at the end of the day, ignoring the market size, the athlete needs to stay paramount to the center of every decision that we make. And when we do that, we can continue to scale because it creates a better player and family experience.
Great. Thank you.
Chad, this is fascinating to me. I wonder, and I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if you're working in this space, but what are we doing? All I see when I'm traveling and around are kids on their devices, and they're not going outside and playing like they used to, right? They're not getting involved. Is that true? Is that a true statement, or do you guys see an uptick in kids actually joining teams? And I'd love to know, what do you see in the environment, and are you guys working on that at all or talking about it?
Yeah. So yes and yes. Look,
Okay.
I'm a father of 4, right? I have 3 girls and a boy between 9 and 14. And, that's the heart and soul of all of us as part of a family. And yes, I come home and I see my daughter on her phone or my son on the computer. And then, yes, my first response as a father is, have we been outside yet? Have you invited a friend over for a play date? Whatever the case may or may not be. In terms of how it relates to 3-step on the field, yes, what we notice is more and more families are asking, inviting, excited for the recreational to competitive athletic balance to what they have, right?
Yeah.
And, Rhett, I think it's beyond just the optionality. In schools, they're in front of a screen more than they used to be 2 decades ago. That's just where the world is today and where it continues to move. And having a hands-on physical activity with teammates starts to create the balance that is hard to find in other areas of life, right? Teamwork, time management, coach-player relationship, all of that education that comes with competition.
It starts with us too, right? At home, where we're push or encouraging that. They want to see us out there doing things too as adults. So it starts there too.
100%. And at 3-step, we remain super authentic, right? It's easy to say it, you got to live it. And so all of our coaches, all of our employee full-time office, where everybody comes from sport. We live, we breathe, we see it. And so we can take that next generation of mentorship and education to balance what you're speaking to.
Yeah, when you're dealing with kids, youth under 18, there's no lazy kids out there. There's lazy parents, lazy coaches, lazy teachers that aren't empowering them. And, I know my mom, who raised 6 kids, she made sure we were up at 5 a.m. and we were doing certain things when other kids weren't doing it. There's no lazy kids, and it's up to us to do that. But it's also up to 3-step to provide the right opportunity, the efficiencies, and to finish off, you've been able to leverage as the chief strategy officer the digital transformation to allow parents to be empowered to make things a little bit more efficient and effective, because it is a lot of work when you have 4 kids. I had 3 girls and a boy just a little bit older than yours, and my wife just drove her last carpool after 27 years about 2 months ago, and it was a huge celebration as my youngest turned 16. And I started to think about the amount of time, energy, and effort. So how has the digital transformation created more efficiencies for the parents so they don't have to be lazy, or the burden is to have their kids participating in these youth sports?
Yeah, it's perfect. Well, and if your wife is ever in Chicago and wants to get back into carpooling, just know there's plenty to go around.
We just bought a place there. My daughter works for F1 in Chicago, so we're there a lot. She'd be more than happy. I'm talking for her. I'm sure, to run carpools for you.
Brilliant. Well, congrats. Yeah, look, the digital transformation, how this becomes easier is, I'm sure you remember back in your house, as I have in my house, where my daughter or son will wake up in the morning and say, Dad, what color shirt am I wearing this morning? The truth is, we should know, my son or daughter should know, this shouldn't be a chase to go get it done. And so what we've done at 3Step is we run this into 3 layers, pun intended, of what happens on field. That's what you're familiar with. It's the coaching, it's the events, it's the competition layer. Then we go to what we call on-site. Those are the things like the uniforms, the travel, the et cetera, ancillary things. And ultimately we get to what we call online, which is the vehicles in which we share this information with the proprietary software we use called Player First. And as we say inside 3Step, we want to get from the grass to the clouds. And when we can connect the grass to the clouds, when we connect the field all the way to the sky, we are able to drive our future, make sure the family experience is unmatched, and connect the tissue of youth sports that to date has been highly, highly fragmented, causing the what color shirt do I wear in the morning question.
And we know the answer to that is plum mist. So that's the color of the day. And I'm continually utilizing plum mist as much as I can. We plum missed out as our youth of these screens, but today, get off your ass, get on the grass, and improve your kids' experience in the class. All right, enough of that alliteration. We are off and ready. 3step.com. If you're looking for an easier and better way to utilize youth sports to empower your kids with the value, the character, to do their best, learn lessons, and have fun. Redefining winning. It's not participating. Winning is doing your best, learning lessons, and having fun, and actually just seeing that improvement or progress that we make by losing and winning games. But no participatory trophies anymore. That's my personal opinion on the matter. But as long as you do your best, learn lessons, and have fun with 3step.com. Chad, we're going to reach out after the show. I got a great introduction. You may know the guys in Ohio with Fedora Sports that I'm on the board of. Some great people over there, Mr. Scott Nelson and others. So we will see you when we're in Chicago. We will do more with you. Everybody reach out to 3step.com. It is probably the best thing you can do for your children is get them involved in youth sports. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Likewise. Take care.
Great job. All right. We are moving right around. Susan is in the green room. Susan McKenty Brady, no relation to Tom Brady, even though she's from Boston, or maybe she is. Author, founder, and CEO at Simmons University Institute for Inclusive Leadership, and has an upcoming book this July, All the Difference, 6 Leadership Actions to Bridge Perspective, Strengthen Teams, and Create Value. I can't think of 3 things that are more needed in leadership today than bridging these perspectives, strengthening teams, and creating value. Susan, welcome to Office Hours, episode 892 or so.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, it was a good run for the last, 20 years to have the last name Brady and live in New England. And I wish I had whatever you were just talking about when my kids were doing sports when they were kids, but it'll improve with the next generation, right?
We are so excited about your upcoming book, and we want to make a big difference in the world, and to have a book about all the difference in leadership. You're looking at 2 world-renowned thought leaders in leadership. If you're not familiar with Blaine Bartlett or Rhett Power, their pedigree is far beyond the 892 episodes of Office Hours, that's for sure. But you have these 6 target actions to create greater empowerment in leaders. In those actions, give us a few insights on what actions could have the most impact, and what we can look forward to reading about in your book.
Okay. Well, so first, just to set the context, right? Leading today requires a new way of showing up. And I'm honored to be in present company. I think we all know there's been something missing. The workforce is more difference-filled than ever, be that 5 generations now. The speed at which AI, of course, is creating complexity, not just about decision-making between humans and humans, but decision-making between humans and artificial intelligence. And the decision drag and the false alignment and the conflict avoidance and the mishandled messaging that is happening now is creating an opportunity for value creation. And so when we think about different seen and unseen differences being an opportunity for value, it's actions that leaders take in the moment that are going to determine whether value is depleted or frankly created. And so we do have the 6 target actions. Thanks for asking me about that. I'll give you the first 2. They do build on one another. And it starts with, understanding ourselves and regulating ourselves under pressure. So returning to respect when it matters most. The fulcrum of our work, and my 2 co-authors, they're awesome. They would probably answer this differently because the 3 of us together are literally all the difference. And have a lot of different perspectives. But I think the fulcrum of the whole book is around returning to respect when it matters most, because learning stops, teamwork stops, cohesion stops, trust stops when we think we're better than another. And just we stop listening when we're standing in certainty and we think we're right. There's no learning going on anymore. And people feel diminished, devalued, and eventually quit. And they might quit but stay, especially in this employment climate, but oftentimes they quit eventually. So the whole work is about creating a new level of awareness and frankly, conscious awareness on how to lead with and through others that do not see the world the way we do, that might not even express or have the same tolerance to risk or communicate or problem solve the way we do. And getting really good at this, I think, is going to be the number one thing that differentiates the humans that last in this next era and lead and not.
Nice. Blaine, this is right up your alley.
Sweet spot here. Just the idea.
By the way, can I just tell you one thing, which is an inconvenient truth? I have 2 Portuguese water dogs. My books are literally off the press and arriving on UPS. They're going to see the UPS truck and they're going to go bananas. And I apologize now if we're interrupted by like crazy dog, but it's a kind of a cool moment because it is the actual book coming from Harvard. Yeah. Psyched.
Well, as soon as they start barking, my 2 Pomeranians are going to do the same thing. So.
Good.
Yeah, the idea of authenticity, leadership authenticity, is just, I mean, this bogeyman that's out there. I'm fascinated by the way that you're actually positioning this, because the notion of leveraging my real self, my best self, lends itself to thinking authenticity is the way to go. But I'm going to check this out with you. I've got a hunch that authenticity is not really what we're after here as much as vulnerability. And when we're looking through the lens of how can what does vulnerability make possible? Well, vulnerability makes possible awareness about noticing things that I've never noticed before. It also makes possible connection. People connect through vulnerability. They disconnect through certainty. And the idea of leaders positioning themselves as being certain all the time doesn't give room for people to grow. It doesn't give room for the leader to grow because nothing gets challenged. How does your work actually address that, if in fact it does?
Yeah, it's I just wrote a piece actually about authenticity pertaining to this model, and I could talk to you about this for a while. The thing that you mentioned about vulnerability, here's the deal. It's just as true, is we're not going to do this well. And that creates equal level playing field for us all to be bad at something, right? So the more I am able, one of the target actions is activating honesty. The way a leader activates honesty, as you know, is you say what's real, you say what's so, you talk about what's hard. And it's vulnerable to talk about when we're not making it happen, or when you made a mistake, or when you took a risk and it didn't work out. But if I don't do that, if I don't lead the way, if I don't show people that, like, I'm not perfect as a leader, especially in the context that we're leading in right now, how would I possibly expect other people to do that so that we can come to a better outcome? So I think at the heart of the book is this micromanagement of oneself, so that we can show up in a way that other people can come in, bring what they got to give, and know that they don't have to be perfect as they carry on, working together. I really worry about the certainty, about the justification, about the inconsistency of people's behavior right now. I say I value this, but I do that, and the emotional regulation that leaders bring the weather, and so all of that is ripe for just killing innovation and problem solving and all the things we say we want. Never mind having a connected experience with one another, feeling like we're going to work, and mattering. I think mattering matters. Meaning matters. So how do we set the context for that, regardless of if you're an extrovert or an introvert, or where you grew up, or how you identify, And it does directly relate to the value we create.
Perfect. Thanks, Susan.
Susan, I'm going to follow this line of conversation, and I think, sorry, I've got a little bit of feedback there, but I was hoping that we would get an unboxing here on Office Hours today. I don't know if that'd be the first book unboxing on the show history, but it doesn't look like we were going to get it, unfortunately. But I was talking to a CHRO yesterday, a CHRO that I coach, big company, and he was talking about how they are having a lot of trouble with people who sit next to one another, who are on teams together, and they're not talking because of their differences, political differences, and other things, because there's just the animosity because of beliefs, and we are having trouble talking to one another today in society, right? And this is happening in our businesses too. What's your advice to a leader that's listening to this, that's got teams that are
Good morning.
that are struggling to communicate in that way?
Yes, person. Pass the lead to the room. Thank you.
The harshness begins between our ears. We stop being open-minded well before we interact with another human being. And my advice would be, what do we have to learn from each other? The intolerance is at an all-time high, right? Like you say. And I think, where do we as leaders, what can we put in front of our teams that we actually can work together on, that we can drive forward as a team? Because I actually don't think it's realistic for us to, put together a bunch of people and think that we're going to get to yes around a political topic in this day and age, right? Around some of our values, we might not see the same. But what is the thing that we can work on together, that we can honor in each other, about a strength we bring, about value we bring to others, about something we do together and can accomplish together? And that fostered still connection. So it's looking, I think, and I'd love to hear your opinions about this, looking for moments to foster connection by being real about what's hard and saying it. Look, we don't all, so job number one, I know we don't all think and we don't all think the same here. We don't all have the same beliefs. We don't all reach the same conclusions. We are, however, all working on the same team. And open the dialogue for how can we do this effectively? And then use the 6 target actions, I would say,
It's going to be a must read. You can pre-order it now. Check out the amazing upcoming book, All the Difference, and Susan McKenty Brady, CEO at Simmons University Institute. Learn about inclusive leadership and how to be a leader, not just for today, but for the future. Susan, promise us you'll come back on before the book launches. Everybody pre-order that book. We'd love to have you. We have so many different shows. We'll be over 900 by then. Leading
Awesome.
allthedifference.com. Pre-order the book now. Thank you for joining us, and we'll have you back soon.
Thanks so much for having me, you guys. Have a great day.
Congrats on the book. Go open those boxes.
Thank you. I know, I'm waiting for it.
You got it.
Take care.
How exciting. All right, gentlemen, it's my favorite time of the day. It's the takeaway of the day. Rhett Power, what's your takeaway of the day?
Man, I don't know. Struggling with that. They were all different and they're doing such different things, but I go back to my fallback takeaway, which is I just love these conversations with people who are doing things that are impacting the world, and go back to Susan. I mean, I think that's a conversation that she's started with this new book that's really relevant and really important. and that was relevant advice for people who are struggling on bringing teams together. I love what I think it was Paul. Is it Paul? Yeah. Chad. What Chad is doing with the sports, with youth sports. So another quality show. Another reason. 3 reasons to listen and watch us every Thursday, and that's my takeaway.
I love it. Blaine, what do you got?
I'm going to just pick up on something that Rhett just said here, the quality of the show, specifically the quality of the guests. Yes, we had 3 different guests that are at the top of their game in that domain that they happen to be, playing in. And the fact that they are coming on this show says a lot about, and this is the takeaway here, about the quality that we continuously deliver. 892 episodes. The qualitative nature of what we're, and these are short conversations, 10-minute conversations, but we have a waiting list of people that are literally not just knocking on the door, they're beating the door down to come on the show. And I want to just give a tip of the hat, and this is my takeaway, a tip of the hat to the quality of the team that you've assembled, David, and putting this together. And we keep coming back for more. And this has as much to do with the guests today as well as just the whole infrastructure that we've assembled, that makes this possible. This is a rare treat. I think this is a master's class in how things can be actually operating. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to just acknowledge everybody that's been a part of this today.
Yeah, acknowledge my team, especially building out the brand, building out the community, building out the show, production, recruitment, all the different facets of the millions of dollars that we spend in building this over many, many years to do 892 or so of these. So they're exceptional, and biggest compliment you can get. I think my takeaway for the day is how fast things are changing in every realm. So although there's this differentiator, all the people want to bridge perspective as change is accelerated. And I know that Susan talked about, the need to be better or the need to be right. I don't agree. It's just a need to be separate. And so the idea of bridging perspectives through appreciation, forgiveness, and accountability is my takeaway of the day. And that if we look at things when they separate quickly, which they do when change is as rapid as it is, that we have to focus in on these leaders today, like Ben, Chad, and Susan, that are bridging the perspectives and bridging it through appreciation, empathy, and accountability. So I'm blessed to have 2 of the great thought leaders, which is why we have such great attraction to the show. 892 episodes. We do have a long wait list. We're trying to accommodate it with all the different shows that we have from all that we do all week long. Come and join us. Blaine Bartlett, BlaineBartlett.com. Change your mind, change your heart, change your handset with Blaine Bartlett. Turn your possibilities to reality. And the king of fundamentals, the amazing Rhett Power. If you want to gain power and create less counter power, then reach out to Rhett Power. Rhett Power, thank you for joining me. Blaine Bartlett, thank you for joining me. We will see you guys next Thursday on Office Hours, episode 893. There's probably 6 by then. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Real quick, we are in Newport Beach right now. VIP dinner tonight, mastermind. Still time to come join us for dinner. Go ahead, email Nick directly, nick@dmeltzer.com. After Newport Beach, Japan, holding court meetups, masterminds, VIP dinners, Louisville, Kentucky. We got Tim Story, Jay Abraham. We're loaded. John Coyle, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Show Las Vegas season 11 of Office Hours in the lobby of the Wynn, and back to Newport Beach with Tim Story. There's a couple other things in between, but if you want to meetups, ask me anything, holding courts, interviews, mastermind speeches, we got it all for you, but you better be informed. You're going to miss it. You'll plumb miss out on David Meltzer. You'll plumb miss out on David Meltzer unless you belong to our community. 49. Next 3 numbers, 298. Last 4 numbers, 5998-2905. or David Beloved at D, first initial, Meltzer servant, David at dmeltzer.com. Remember, most interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self, and do good deeds. Thank you, G.
Hey! 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 Oh, hey! Wanna know where David's gonna be? Get invites, updates, and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949-292-9005. That's 949-292-9005. Hey. Events, connection, and opportunity. All in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. 949-292-9005. That's 949-292-9005.
Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun.